Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol LMFA. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like a few weeks worth of time, it's actually just the past couple of days broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like to this time frame. I think that's a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. Now, I did this analysis on Wednesday. Remember, the markets were closed yesterday for Thanksgiving, so that is where that green line comes into play. And that green line is still going to pertain to the chart. So, but before we get to that point, I do want to note that from a presentation standpoint, this is a pretty tricky chart to analyze because of all the perspective that goes into it. What do I mean by that? Well, if you are a day trader and you bought right there, or maybe you bought right there, and you wanted to sell within 15 minutes after buying, then yeah, for you, the chart's looking pretty terrible. Now, if you care about the big picture of things, I get it. There was a pretty big pullback today. But from the big picture, the bulls do still technically have an opportunity to build a higher base. And as long as you have higher bases being built over longer periods of time, that's how long-term uptrends are constructed. And that's where I want to circle back to the green line right there at basically right around $2.80. Because, again, this assumes you care about the big picture perspective. So I fully realize that I may sound crazy to some of you. But if I sound crazy, my guess would be, like I said, you had a much different strategy and perspective going in. But from the big picture perspective, let's say the price actually comes down here, the pullback continues, finally levels out, and then starts to head back up. What would you have at that point in time if that were to happen? Well, you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have this set of lows down here. If you picture these as stair steps, well then, hey, from the big picture, the overall stair steps are still heading in the upwards direction. And that's the name of the game. That's what you want to see. That's what a truly strong move is going to do. It's going to make progress forward. However, if the price comes down here and then breaks down through there and then just continues to separate to the downside, at that point in time, I would just call it a pump and dump because the price made an awesome move. And then with, the time span of only a few days, the price, being right back inside of this range that it broke out of, I don't know what else you would call that. But to be fair, though, so far that has not happened. Yeah, there was a big pullback today, but today, that's 1 day. Looking at multiple days, the bulls do still have an opportunity to build a higher base, and that higher base that matters to me at least, and matters as far as the quote-unquote story is concerned, is at $2.80. So we'll see if the price can maintain and stay above it next week or not. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.